You know, the final stage of grief is acceptance. And for the Montreal Canadiens, and especially for their fans, I think it's more than appropriate for us to make one final nail-in-the-coffin video where we just kind of accept what's been going on and what will continue to go on as the remainder of the 2024-2025 hockey season continues. And I say the 24-25 hockey season and not the 24-25 NHL season because this is very much about the KHL and the MHL as it is the NHL. Because today, we're talking about Montreal Canadiens top prospect Ivan Demidov one more time and an article that was posted onto responsiblegambling.org that gives us the truth. This show is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Go out there, check out that first link in the description to save some money on your VPN, get some free months, and support this YouTube channel. In the process, take a look at this article that was published 2 days ago by Marco D'Amico. A source says, unlike Nikita Nikishin, Ivan Demidov does not have this option. How soon Ivan Demidov can join the Canadiens? Now, I'll put a disclaimer here at the beginning. The article's a pretty long one. There are beefy quotes in here. But in order to get a full scope as to what's actually going on, we kind of need to do some reading here. So I'll screenshot the article, put some of the important information on the screen so it's easier for us to follow along. But ultimately, Ivan Demidov has been put in a very tough spot. He is the most productive junior player the KHL has ever seen. He is the top point producer on a team in SKA St. Petersburg that has not really been all too great compared to expectations, and he has been missing games lately. Mostly because the coaching staff just does not want to give him all the opportunities in the world to succeed. They just kind of want to plug him and play whenever it is they want. Doesn't seem like Roman Rothenberg's intention for SKA is to win as many hockey games as possible. Seems like a lot of this is sending a message now, isn't it? Ultimately, this is what this article by D'Amico goes out there and says. Despite the historic offensive output, Demidov has had trouble finding consistent playing time this season, averaging a lowly 13.44 minutes per game. In an effort to play a more physical style, quote-unquote, in the playoffs, head coach Roman Rothenberg announced that Demidov will miss SKA's upcoming game against Avtomobilist in Yekaterinburg. It sparked a ton of speculation that the team is once again punishing the 19-year-old for not committing to a new contract with the team, as his current deal with SKA is set to conclude on May 31st, 2025. Demidov has made no effort to hide his desire to honor his agreement and make his way to Montreal next season to join the rebuilding Canadiens. However, there has since been speculation of the Habs attempting to pry Demidov out of Russia to potentially join their playoff push. And we have made a few videos talking about that idea. Could Demidov come over to the Habs before the end of the 24-25 regular season in the NHL? And it doesn't seem like that is going to be an option here just because of how the timeline works out. But Marco D'Amico does give us a little bit of an update as to how far SKA St. Petersburg is going to go in making sure Ivan Demidov remains theirs till the end of the contract. Demidov's current KHL deal runs until May 31st, effectively preventing a transition to the Canadiens during the 24-25 season. There's been growing anticipation about when he'll finally make his way to North America, but the terms of his contract leave little room for flexibility, according to a source close to the situation. The source says this: if SKA is eliminated early from the playoffs, Ivan Demidov will continue playing in the MHL to help the club compete for the Kharlamov Cup, a trophy he won in 2024 with SKA 1946. Said source said to the RG.org crew, the organization prioritizes winning titles at every level, not just the Gagarin Cup. And here's the thing. Oh, Ivan Demidov is this amazing top producer in the KHL. He's literally the top guy in points on SKA St. Petersburg. But they're not going to play him. And they're not going to utilize him as one of the best players on SKA. So what? The team's being led by a rookie in scoring. Why are you scratching this guy? Why are you only playing him 13 minutes a night? Oh, it's because he's 18. Oh, it's because he's not going to re-sign with us. Oh, it's because we want to send a message. Oh, it's because if we even get eliminated early in the playoffs, we're not even going to let him go to Montreal. We're just going to send him down to the MHL, the junior team, and let him get 4 points a night over there, winning the Kharlamov Cup for the second year in a row, most likely because he's the best player on the team in the KHL. What more, being the best player in the league in the MHL? Like, I don't even know if it's hyperbolic to say that he could get 4 or 5 points a game if he gets sent down to the MHL. Like, oh, sorry, SKA's eliminated, and they're like, yeah, you gotta go down, and Demidov's like, okay, I'll go down. To a league where he already was at like 2 points a game last year. And that was in his draft-eligible season, so to take a look at it, yeah, he literally was at 2 points a game last year, 60 points in 30 games played, and 28 points in 17 in the postseason. Yeah, he already dominated at 17. What more now at 18? So, for Demidov to have this option to go straight down to the MHL, there is an explanation as to why this is the case for him, and not some other players. Take a look at this. While some players have been granted early exits to the NHL, such as Boston's Marat Krasnodinov last season, Demidov's situation is different. SKA is actively trying to keep him in the fold beyond his contract's expiration date on May 31st. Take Alexander Nikishin, the captain of the club and the top prospect of the Hurricanes. After his many years of service to the organization, his reps and SKA have come to an agreement that he would be able to leave early to join the Hurricanes for the NHL playoffs. Unlike Nikishin, whom SKA agreed to release early for the NHL, Demidov does not have this option due to his MHL eligibility, said the source that was interviewed for this commentary. Demidov has reportedly accepted the situation and is not pushing for an early move to North America. Ultimately, it seems like SKA and Roman Rottenberg are very intent on squeezing out every second of Demidov's contract, while the youngster continues to show a high level of professionalism in going along with it and biding his time. This is where we dive into the unlikely scenario that actually would see Demidov suit up for the Canadiens in 24-25. There is a sliver of a chance that Demidov could land in Montreal prior to September 2025. It's a long shot to say at least, but if the Canadiens were not only able to qualify for the playoffs and make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, Demidov would be eligible to sign his ELC and join the club. The only scenario where he could debut in Montreal this season is if the Habs reach the finals and sign him on June 1st. Until then, SKA holds full control over his short-term future. Now, that doesn't discredit the idea of Demidov himself forcing or requesting a buyout of some sorts, but we know he's not going to do that. He's been very loyal to SKA in terms of doing what it is that he is tasked with doing at this point of his hockey playing career. He's not going to go out there and burn bridges before even crossing them. So ultimately, we recognize that the only realistic chance for Demidov to play in 24-25 with Montreal is if the Montreal Canadiens pull off a miracle run in first getting to the playoffs, and secondly, making the gosh darn finals. Can this Habs team beat Florida? Can they beat the Tampa Bay Lightning? Can they beat the Toronto Maple Leafs even? I don't know. 7-game series, anything can go down, but if the Canadiens end up losing in the first round, I don't think anybody would be too surprised. They were a lottery team last year after all. But in the unlikely scenario that they do make the finals, that is potentially when Ivan Demidov will be able to play with the team. So with that in mind, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about this Ivan Demidov update, accepting the truth with this new information here in regards to how the KHL team is definitely trying to squeeze out every second of life they have out of this contract, and they don't want to let him go to Montreal just yet. Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.